Cool, great to see you.
How are you, man?
Yeah, good, thanks. Thanks for having us at the showroom.
Very welcome, very welcome.
So this is the Acoustic UK showroom
Yes.
in
yes.
Chelmsford. How long have you been here? What's
We've been here for 18 months now, out in the Essex countryside. So it's a lovely place to be, and it's always sunny over here. Next to a vineyard, who knew?
Who knew? Well planned. From
Exactly. But it's a lovely spot, and 18 months in now, it feels like we've always been here, really.
No, fantastic. So Home Cinema Alliance members can come here to the showroom,
Of course,
as well as end users?
Of course, everything's by appointment due to the nature of what we do, but that gives us time to spend with you and run through what we can do here, which is something that we'll run through today.
Show us what you got.
Okay, so in here there are, as you might be surprised to hear, there's 10 systems all set up. When we were putting this together, we managed to get through about 2 kilometres of speaker cable.
Wow.
Which made me appreciate how much work you guys do.
100%. Yeah, it's always more than you realise.
It's a challenge, but it's all in, and the systems are all intended really to tell a story about the application rather than the product itself. So why is this a solution that can work rather than here's a showcase for the individual product? So as such, there's different scenarios, different setups, like the TV system here, or some in ceilings, or there's a bar system intended as a sort of party space. A full range soundbar that's different applications where it might be for a bedroom or for a kitchen or for a study, or clearly a media room, TV snug, or cinema. So all of the different applications are kind of thought about in terms of how would we approach the right solution for the right application. That's kind of the focus of the whole thing, rather than here's a product, isn't it shiny? It's more application led, and that leads us really to the most important part of the showroom, which is probably the desk.
What happens here then, Paul?
Well, it doesn't sound very glamorous, but here it gives us an opportunity to really understand the brief, to talk to a client, to talk to you guys, and discuss what it is we're trying to achieve. What's the projects? What's the room? What are the challenges? Every system has its own challenges in terms of the practicalities, the aesthetics, the financial implications. They're all part of the mix. So by sitting here and going through plans and designs and throwing ideas around as a consultative approach is really key to understanding why you're here, rather than, let's show you a nice product. Once we understand the brief and we understand what we're trying to get to, what's the end game, what's the hope and dreams for this system, then my role really here is to be a filter to help guide through a scalable and expansive range, to say, actually, if for this project, for example, this is the product that is going to be ideal for that swimming pool or for that gym, but it isn't the right product for that cinema room. And that's really my role here, is to run through and guide people towards the right solutions. Ultimately, then we end up with better results, happier clients, and hopefully, from our point of view, repeat business. And that's kind of the idea.
So it's learning the end user's needs and requirements, really,
Yes.
about what they want from a system, and obviously the acoustic speakers are very scalable as well, which I think we'll have a look at later. But fundamentally, it's the design of that room.
It is. It's understanding that brief. I think that's what our industry has become now. You guys have been in this industry for a long time now, and been through that learning curve as well. That from somebody asking for a particular product to asking for a solution to their lifestyle and their home. Home improvement really is the sector we're in. The cinema room has famously become probably the best and most loved room in the home in so many projects. So that's really the sector we're in, is how can we deliver a holistic system that works and exceeds, hopefully, the brief of what was set. And I think with that in mind, that changes the complexion or the perspective then to say, right, these are the solutions that we think can work. And hopefully some of them are acoustic ones. But even in some rooms where they're not, that's okay. We do take an interest, although not directly, we take an interest in the picture, in the seating, in the room itself, and then can guide either to more expertise where we know people in the industry, or flag up potential problems, or just work as a team so that we're all working ultimately for a better result for the client.
So working as a team, you start off at the desk,
yes,
do the design. Where do we go next?
Then where? So from here, we'll get an understanding of what we're hoping to achieve together, and then probably the next step is well, let's see if we like it. Let's go into one of these rooms and have an experience. Is this the level of experience that you're hoping for? This is the test drive moment. So from here we go into Cinema 1.
Straight in here?
In you go.
Wow, look at this.
So starting with which we hope is a reasonably accessible room. It's a beautiful room designed by the guys at Cinema Lux, and it's just delivered on every brief that we set for them.
It's not your traditional cinema room, is it?
No, it was
nice and light.
It was
nice and bright.
That was very much part of the brief to be. This was a little bit of internal discussion with the guys here. Is that was this going to be a dedicated cinema, or was this more of a lounge feel? And I really wanted to push it towards the cinema, but I think we also need to realise that this could easily be a lounge. If this was a TV system and there was a L-shaped sofa, the coffee table, whatever, this could easily be a lounge system as well. So
you easily could have gone for an 85-inch TV or 100-inch TV.
And it would have been exactly the same system. So there isn't a right or wrong here, and I think that's the same with a client. You know, whether it's a TV-based, TV snug or projector-based, that's part of the conversations. So here we've gone with the largest screen we can, which is 110-inch 16:9. We'll start running out of ceiling height if we went any bigger. And this gives us the right screen size for the seating position. So we followed all the same guidelines. Part of the conversation that we have at the desk area is following the industry parameters from CEDIA's RP22 that we're huge supporters of. I think it gives us parameters that are known knowns. We can take advice from many experts around the world that have contributed to this, and have something that is a consensus. So this is the right screen size for this seating position, and then based on that, we did the same process of creating a system that hit a brief level. So we aimed this at, from a dynamic range point of view, a level 1 minimum. So this is
RP22 level 1 minimum. In this room.
So this is 99 dB. This is an entry level. Now, of course, in our industry, entry level is still fantastic, but it is accessible. And I think it's a really good place to show that this, as an industry and as a brand, this is where we start. This is why you're here.
Yeah, level 1 is still pretty good.
It's still really good.
Do you know what I mean?
It's still fantastic, and that's the point of it. It's a base level of excellence, and then it goes up from there. So from this experience, we can show a level that we know is impressive, get people to understand that it's accessible, and then from here, of course, if you want something a little bit more impressive, there's room 2.
Room 2. Going back to room 1, what have we got in here at the moment? What speakers, screen, projector?
Well, we've followed all the maths as we would with any system. So it's the same process that we would do with a client, with a project, of what's the distance to the screen, what's the output that we require. We wanted 99 dB as per the RP22 Level 1 minimum recommendations. And as such, we used the calculators to work it out, and it ends up, which was surprised us as well, actually the Evolve 2.1 is behind the screen. So it's a remarkably...
so all these speakers are behind the screen as well, so they're completely...
Yes, so left, centre and right behind the screen.
Yep, nice.
Subwoofers behind the screen, and then there's front wides, surrounds to make it into...
What subs you got? How many?
Sub 2s, 4.
Right, nice.
2 at the front, 2 at the back.
Because you can.
And again, well, the reason for front and back was the same thing with a client. It's room modes. We did the calculations on it and realised that we couldn't just use them at the front. We couldn't just use them at the back. We needed to have them front and back, and that gives us the best result. And that's what leads. It's the science that leads the design.
And that's what it's all
And
about.
as such, we've ended up with an accessible, affordable system that we think sounds amazing.
So the client would come in here, have a listen, obviously like it, love it.
Well, and that's it. So it's the test drive. Understand it. That's exactly it. Make an informed decision then of, like, is this the level of experience you're expecting? Does this exceed it? Are you looking for more? At that point, we can recommend based on experiences. So from here, of course, there are bigger, better systems, and that's what we have next door to show a bigger version of the same thing.
So talking of bigger and better, should we go and have a look? Paul, we've just been into the media cinema room, level 1, and before we go into your second cinema room, you've got the acoustic range here, which are obviously very scalable. Can you go through that a bit more with us, please?
Part of the range, yeah, it's quite extensive. So the one of the key things that we have, one of the concepts behind the entire range, is the scalability. So we use the same drive unit in the smallest one, and with the tweeter in the mid, and then keep adding and going up through the range until we end up all the way here. And what that gives us is a controllable output, controllable dispersion, and a known SPL level. So we can choose this speaker here doesn't sound any better or worse than this speaker, but it plays louder. So for example, in the small room, if you wanted more than this was giving you, an easy upgrade is just to move to here. It will have more SPL, more output, and play louder. So as long as you keep the subwoofers in together as a system, it gives us a scalable range where we can find somewhere that suits the space, the design. If it's on show, if it might be a lounge system, it might be that these are perhaps too much for the lounge in terms of the aesthetic, maybe something very discreet and small.
So in the RP22 Level 1, we have these throughout the whole of the room, don't we?
It happens to be the same speaker all the way around, although that wasn't a deliberate choice. That was where the maths led us. So these are behind the screen as the LCR.
Was that also budget conscious?
No,
or just
no, it wasn't. It was aimed at what is the entry level RP22 system that we can achieve and what products are needed to achieve it. And it ended up here.
Fantastic.
So it's the engineering leads the choice of products, which I think is the right way of doing it. If we're aiming at a higher target, that's where the scalability comes in. We're not choosing from a nominally better speaker. They are all of the same quality. So if you like the smaller system, you like everything we do. It gives you the confidence to know that we're talking about different levels of the same quality.
And the maths tell you which speaker to go for in the larger
exactly
rooms.
That. Sometimes the aesthetic, some people might like this particular form factor or like it in a colour, or that obviously is part of it, but we do it from an engineering point of view.
And these can have different rail numbers,
finishes
as well?
Black and white standard, and then any colour. So RAL, NCS, and various colour matching. We do a lot of colour matching. It's a very important part of what we do.
And if they are on show, like your first little demo room there, you can have grills going on the front. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. This is clearly led by me here. We don't have grills here for some reason. Well, in fact, we do on the TV system. So these do come with black and white grills for the most part. And if it's a colour match speaker, we do colour match the grill as well. So yeah, that is an important part of what we do.
So in room number 2, what speakers
bigger, better.
So
if this is in level 1, we can't use that to go further up. So we've gone way up the range, and we don't actually have it on here, but in the big system is the A14, which is effectively the cinema version of this. It's the flagship, higher output, highly dynamic speaker. So same but more.
Same but more. Let's go and have a look.
Come on in.
Fantastic! Wow, what a room.
Yeah, it's something really quite special. This is designed by the guys at Cinema Lux again. Puts together a really special room for us.
What was the brief?
Well, it was a tricky one for them because we're a Scandinavian brand. Proudly Danish as a brand, and been going for 27 years. We've got obviously a heritage and a brand identity, and Scandinavian cinemas are not really a thing. So
very Scandinavian.
To try and get a Scandinavian on-brand theme to the room with the colours and the feel of it, and still deliver a world-class cinema was testament to the design team that they've come up with something that I think really hit the brief, and we love. I've been here, as I said, over 18 months now, and this still amazes me every time I come in.
It is a fantastic room, and the dynamics change as soon as the door's shut.
Yeah,
the feel of the room.
We've looked after the acoustics in here in a sensible way. There's a lot of diffusion and absorption, but not too much. It isn't a dead room. We don't want to take too much of the energy out, or over damp it, or concentrate too much on certain frequencies. It's kind of a just tone it down a little bit so it doesn't feel too lively. And when we're playing this at full volume, at reference levels, 105 plus dB. Then obviously we don't want the room to be part of that experience. So it's quite inert.
I mean, the design of the room is fundamentally very important, but also the amount of speakers you've got, as you said, about the RP22 level 3.
Yeah, we've followed Dolby Dart's system on this, which basically dictated that we have quite a lot of speakers in here. So I'll run through them. We've gone behind the screen is the LCR, which is the Spitfire A14s. These are designed with quite a wide dispersion that really suits 2 rows or more of seating. but with a very high dynamic range. They're incredibly sensitive. I'll get the number wrong, but it's something like 104 dB sensitivity. So once we put some really good quality power amps into that as well, we're not using a lot of power to hit very high levels, which means very low distortion. Speakers along the sides, so for the surrounds, we've got a front wide. All of the speakers in here are all angled towards the audience. So front wide here, and then there's 3 speakers along here as surrounds. They're in the grey sections, so 1, 2 and 3 along there. So 4 speakers along the wall. There's 4 across the back, which includes 2 in the green section, and then there's the artwork at the back. There's 2 speakers behind that as well.
Actually, behind the artwork?
Yeah,
wow.
Behind that print, which we do in-house. So that gives us panning across the back wall as well, and then 4 down the other side, linked with 8 overheads, done in rows of 4. So it totals about 27, I think.
27 speakers.
27 speakers, 4 subs.
4 subs.
4 sub-4s, 2 at the back, 2 at the front, again for room modes and seat-to-seat consistency, as well as output and depth. This is measuring according to the processor down to 15 hertz flat, which, you know, it sounds it.
That's pretty impressive, and everybody gets a fantastic experience, no matter what seat they're sitting in.
Yeah, I mean, I would sit in the middle.
Yeah,
but if you can't,
you paid for that seat.
You pay for the seat, sit in the middle
where,
if you can.
Where you're sitting.
The other seats sound fantastic too.
No, it looks a well-designed room from the guys at Cinema Lux, and
yeah, it was a lot of thought working together on that. Technically, they listened to the technical requirements from us, and then worked with us on the aesthetic brief as well. Made sure the whole thing worked. Again, back to the desk. It's a holistic thing, delivering the whole room, the whole experience.
So, Paul, we've got a nice TV lounge system here from Art Acoustic. Can you explain a little bit more about this for us?
Yeah, this follows the same principles that we do throughout every system. It's the right system for the right job. So with this one, this was aimed more for a smaller lounge. This is a 75-inch TV. We've used the colour matching that we have and just gone with the smallest Evolve 1s, which will not reach the RP22 levels, but we figured that for a lounge system, that's not really what the brief is. So if you wanted a system that could deliver to that levels, then we go through the scalable range and we could go up from here to the 2.1, 3.1, 4.2, 6.3, scaling it up. This is one of the cinema speakers on here, so that it's the right system for the right job. There's center channels that can match the screen, or this one, which is more affordable and smaller, that could maybe be in a cabinetry, it could be color matched. It's all about finding the right thing for the right project.
And you've got 1 sub here as well for this little living room area.
Yeah, this is the sub 1. So the subwoofers again follow the same scalability as the rest of the range from the sub Z through to the 1, 2, 3 and 4, imaginatively named. And as we go up through them, they use the same drive unit but more of them in a larger cabinet, and you get more depth, more output. So it's finding the right level. And of course then with subwoofers, particularly in a lounge or domestic environment, finding somewhere to hide them, making sure they work with the room modes as well, is kind of my role here as well, is to find that space where this could be a discrete place to put it. It could be color matched, it could be hidden within furniture, or finding the right thing for the right space so that the end result is exactly what the client was expecting.
Paul, Art Acoustic offers some different solutions. Can you tell us a bit more about this new product?
Yeah, brand new. This is the CPH soundbar, available in 3 different sizes as standard. Bespoke as well is available, so 65, 75, 85-inch TV sizes. This is an 85. And designed to be a 2-channel full range solution. If we take the grill off, I'll show you what's behind here. Just pop it out there. So we have the same tweeter, and then we use a long throw 5-inch drive unit, which is full range. So we have the left and the right, and then these are just doing bass. So it gives us a solution for smaller lounge systems, or for a TV system, or for a kitchen system, or something where just 2-channel is what's needed, but with the same Art Acoustic DNA and quality. Same black and white and bespoke colours. Also, the DNA from this comes from a speaker just behind you, Simon, is the CPH5, which is a really successful little sort of bookshelf speaker that is great for studies, gyms, that kind of thing, where the subwoofer might be tricky to position. So yeah, that's this, and it's launched in February and shipping now.
Fantastic. What I do like about this product is how
It looks really
thin
elegant,
it is
doesn't
from
it?
the front.
Yeah.
And this can be recessed into the wall as well?
It can. It's sort of, so the design takes its lead from how TVs work, where it's thicker at the back, so there is obviously some depth to the actual product.
Yeah,
but
of
by
course.
making it thinner around the edge, it gives the illusion that it's floating and makes it look quite elegant.
There is that illusion, and obviously stereo is still very popular.
Yeah, exactly. It's very practical, and then this also enables it to be quite easy to recess into a wall. So if everything was going flush, it's a very easy way to do it.
But a fantastic solution for the stereo listeners.
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic, excellent. Thanks, Paul.